welcome to Powerful Flow Yoga today. So as always, if you are nursing any injuries or not feeling quite up to par, just take this at your own pace, listen to your body and only do what feels good. We'll come to the top of the mat then, bring your big toes to touch, draw your tail under, lengthen your crown up towards the ceiling and bring your hands to your heart. Take a couple of breaths here and maybe even squeeze your glutes together, draw your belly button into your spine. See if you can breathe only through your nose for the practice. With your next in-breath, take your hands up towards the ceiling and look up at them. So you're looking directly into your hands. Reach your fingertips all the way up. Press your feet into the mat. Inhale. And as you exhale, bring your thumbs towards your forehead and start to lower down nice and slowly and gently into a forward fold. Hang here for a minute. You can even let your knees be soft and let your arms hang. Looking towards your knees. And then begin to slowly stroke your legs, maybe a little bit more, maybe not completely. Keep your chest close to your thighs. And you can even straighten one leg and keep the other bent. Do a couple of those. Today's practice will be working on strength in the legs, the glutes and the arms. So it's really important that your legs and arms are nice and warmed up, your shoulders are warm. Both legs straight now. Then bend your knees quite deeply and if you can, roll up to standing. If your back doesn't like that, have a flat back. Inhale, hands up to the ceiling. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, hands to the ceiling. And as you exhale, take your right arm forwards, your left arm back, and try and keep your hips square. Next in-breath, left arm forwards, right arm back. Do that a couple more times. Right arm forwards, left arm forwards. Exhale down. Inhale up. And then we'll dive forwards into your forward fold again. Bend your knees, left foot back as far as it'll go, drop your left knee, relax the back foot. Take your hands up towards the ceiling. In a crescent lunge, so your hips are lower than your knee, looking straight ahead. Or if you like, you can look up towards your hands. Try and keep your forehead relaxed. Drop your hands down on the out breath. Just bring your left knee forwards a bit and to the center. And your right leg back. Point the toe, lengthen your neck. Inhale, exhale, nose to knee. Inhale to lengthen. We'll do about 5 of these. So you don't need to try and get your right heel up as high as it can. You only need it to be level with your hips and shoulders. And as you contract, really squeeze the nose and the knee together. Then take it all the way back. Inhale, exhale, drop your knees, both knees down, and take it into a child's pose. Let your shoulders relax. And walk your hands forwards one at a time. Spread your fingers. Rise up onto your knees. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips and take your heels to the back of the mat for a little stroll in downward dog. Take it slowly. Feet together, reach your heels back. Take your chest towards your thighs a little bit. And if you can, circle your armpits into each other.
Then tighten your glutes and take your belly button up towards your spine. Raise your left leg and swing or hop your foot forwards, just roughly where your left hand was. Relax the back foot, rise up into your crescent lunge. You don't need to aim for a dramatic back bend here. It's early in the practice and most people's backs don't want to do that anyway. Drop your hands down. Tuck the toes of your back foot under, lift your hips and step forwards into a forward bend again. And make your way up to standing. Squeeze your backside. Hands to the heart. And, to the sky and then to your heart. Inhale, hands up to the sky again. This time, left arm forwards and right arm back. Inhale, right arm forwards. Exhale, left arm forwards. And so on. We'll do one more. Both hands up. And then once again, dive forwards. Forward fold. Bend your knees. Right foot back now. Dropping into the crescent lunge again. Relax the back foot. But this time, you could bend your back knee and see if you can reach for your trouser leg, your heel, or your toes. You might even make a fist with your right hand so it's under your right shoulder. And begin to gently ease your heel to your backside. But again, don't wrench it, don't force it. Just take it gently. We've only just started. As you're doing that, don't forget your left leg. So it might be tempting to let it just go floppy, but keep some integrity in the leg. Keep your knee hugging towards the center line. Now gently release your back foot. Lift your hips. We'll step back into plank pose this time. And then drop your knees down. Knees together. This time we'll have your left leg back. Take a big in breath. Exhale. Bring your knee to your nose. Remember to exhale as you contract. Got about 2 more to go. Really squeeze again to contract. And drop the knee down. And you can take child's pose once more and you can choose toes toed under or just do what feels good. Forehead to the mat, walk your hands out. I'm meaning to say toes curled under, but it's Sunday morning, so it's not happening. Okay, onto your hands and knees. Hips to the sky, heels to the back of the mat. And once more, a little cheeky little Sunday stroll. Take it slowly, there's no need to rush this one. Both feet still. Chest towards your thighs, armpits towards each other. Big toes touching, right leg up this time for three-legged dog. Swing your right foot forwards, drop your back knee, relax the back foot. And again, feel free to make a fist with your left hand. Bend your back knee. And take it very slowly. Okay, let's drop the back foot and we'll step forward into a forward bend. Bend your knees and rise up nice and slowly on an in-breath. Hands to the sky and then to your heart. Feet together. Inhale, squeeze your backside, reach your fingertips upwards. Exhale, dive forwards. Bend your knees and send your left foot back this time. Maybe even walk your right foot slightly right. Bend your back knee and press into the back foot. Hands up to the sky and then hands to your heart. For a little bit of power work today then, tap your knee very gently if it feels okay on both knees. Might do about 10 of these. My brain's trying to calculate as I speak. I think that's 5. But if it hurts the knees in particular or the hips, any of the joints, then stop. Let's do 2 more. Lovely. Hands up on an in-breath. And now reach your back heel backwards a little bit more. And drop your hands down. Hop your left foot to the center. Take your right foot back. We're in a high plank. Drop your knees down. Tops of the feet on the mat. Lengthen your spine. Bend your elbows towards your body. And lower down. Tap your nose on the floor. And rise up again. Take your hips over your knees and your wrists under your shoulders. Inhale into cow pose. Exhale into cat. We'll do 3 of those. And then to a neutral spine. Make sure your knees are touching. Tuck the toes of your right foot out. Send your left leg back. Now, we'll just tap the knee to the elbow and back. And we'll do that same outside of the left elbow and back. And let's do it 10 times. That's about 5, 6. So really squeeze as you tap. And if you're thinking, as you might well, that's not yoga. Well, what I would say to you is this is a really good way of building core strength and mobility. And that's what yoga is all about. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips and take it back into a nice downward facing dog. And try and close off your left hip, square your left foot. Let's swing the left foot forwards and then the right foot to follow. And make your way to standing on an in-breath. And hands to your heart. Inhale to mountain pose. Exhale, dive forwards. Soften your knees. Right foot back. Walk your left foot to the left. Bend your back knee and rise up into your high lunge. And then once more, a few juicy taps. You might feel differently on this side, so really listen to your body and don't make it do what it doesn't like. I think that's about 8. Let's do 2 more. Lovely. Oh, before we go down to the mat, let's just halt for a moment in high lunge. That was a fake move there. So we'll stay here in high lunge. Now drop your hands down, hop your right foot to the center and step back into high plank once more. And knees to the mat, half plank. So there's a straight line from knees, hips and crown. Elbows towards your body, lower down, tap your nose, push up. And then bring your hips over your knees, separate your knees slightly, just slightly, and wrists under your shoulders. Toes tucked under, right leg out. So now we tap it round to the outside of the right elbow and back. That's about halfway. Press your finger pads into the mat fingertips and the knuckles of your hands into the mat, so you're not straining your wrists. And we'll do one more of these. Keep the leg high, tuck the toes of your left foot under, lift your hips and take it back. Oh, mind the furniture behind you, flex your back foot. And then swing it forwards to the top of the mat, left foot to follow. Rise to standing, inhale. Exhale, hands to your heart. Woo. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, dive forwards. Bend your knees, left foot back. For warrior two. Open out into warrior two. Open your hips, squeeze your buttocks, belly button to spine. Bring your right forearm to your right thigh and sweep your left arm down and open out. And then, if you can, both arms parallel. Look up towards your top hand and try and open up towards the ceiling. Come back to warrior two. Back arm up and over. Let's hop into three-legged plank. And then drop your foot. Now you can either lower onto your knees or you can lower down from plank, tap your nose. And all the way back up. Knees onto the mat. Back side to heels. Slide your hands towards your knees and then slide and keep sliding them backwards behind you. Heels of your hands on the mat, lift your ribs and look up towards the corner of the room, the wall and the ceiling where they meet. Okay, peel your hands off, swing your legs round. We'll sneak in some core exercises. Clasp your hands together, lift your knees in Navasana. Try and keep your toes level with your knees and tap the floor on either side. Use your breath. Now, in an ideal world, you'd be breathing only through your nose. In order to do that, I have to stop talking, and I find that difficult in a class. Okay, one more tap each side. Brilliant. Roll backwards. Squeeze your knees. A little rock from side to side. And then a rock forwards and backwards. Now, if you can, rock up to standing. So you might tuck your heels in really close to you, separate your knees, rise up. And then step to the top of the mat. We'll do that on the other side. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, dive forwards. Soft knees, right foot back for warrior two. So make sure your heels are lined up. And once again, open up your hips. Press the outside edge of your back foot down. Bring your forearm to your thigh, palm facing up. Sweep your right arm down. So slight forward fold just for a moment. And then a twisting and an opening up to the ceiling. And both arms parallel with each other. Come back to warrior two. Windmill your hand all the way down to the mat. Hop right foot to the center, left foot back. On your knees first from half plank, or stay high, elbows towards your body, tap your nose, push back up, and then drop your knees. Take it into child's pose. Slide your hands towards you and then all the way back for your back bend. Now, if you feel for it, I'm going to shuffle my knees forward a bit. You could lower down one forearm at a time so that you can hold your feet and look up towards the ceiling. But if there's any discomfort in the low back there, if it feels like it's crunching or folding too much, then come out. You don't need to look at the wall behind you. If you're on your forearms, come out one hand at a time. Then walk yourself or forward so that you can swing your legs around once more. Backside to the middle of the mat, toes level with your knees for Navasana. And then begin to tap your hands once more, side to side. Keep focusing on keeping the knees high and leaning backwards slightly. That'll help with balance and also with the core work. A couple more. I don't know how many that is, but it feels about right. Roll backwards. And again, you might like to roll from side to side to come out of that, or you might prefer to take a roll forwards and backwards. And then rise up to standing, hands to your heart. Take a little step forwards. Hands to the sky on an in-breath. Exhale, dive forwards. Nice and slow. This time, slide your hands halfway up your legs for gazing pose. Flatten your back, make your neck nice and long. Tuck your tail under ever so slightly. Take a big in-breath. As you exhale, fold forwards. Bend your knees. We'll step back for warrior one this time. So left foot to the left, right foot slightly to the right. Rise up on an in-breath. Then take your hands to your tail, lace your fingers. Reach backwards. Keep that arch in the upper back. Take your chest forwards. So there's two ways of doing this. And one is where you don't build any strength at all and you just lean into your leg and flop forwards. And the other one is where you squeeze your glutes, press into the back foot and measure your progress. So you go down slowly, squeeze your legs and then press your hands up towards the ceiling. Keep squeezing the legs and that's what builds the mobility. So it's the strength with the flexibility. Take your hands back to your tail and rise up to the sky. Drop your hands down. You want to have your hands under your shoulders. Hop your left foot to the center, right foot back. Now feel free to drop your right foot. Feel free to go down knees first or go down just like me with a leg in the air and back up and then to three-legged dog. We'll hold it there. Flex your back foot. Raise your heel just a little bit higher, but keep your hips square. Now bend your back knee. Slowly ease your leg forwards. Drop your right knee just behind your right wrist. Slide your left foot backwards. You might rise onto your fingertips. There's a back bend element here then in the lower back. And if you draw your shoulders back towards each other, you take it up into the upper back too. You can take it even deeper by bending your back knee and reach towards your back foot. If you can get it into your elbow, perhaps see if you can go for mermaid pose, but don't hurt yourself. Okay, slowly release. Swing your back leg all the way around and roll onto your back. Knees into your chest. Clasp your hands under your head. Extend one leg and then take opposite elbow to knee. We'll do a few of these. I favour a pointed toe for this practice, purely aesthetic. But I do think when you're practicing yoga, to involve the whole of your body, including your face by keeping it relaxed, including your toes and fingers by thinking about what you're doing with them and actively do something with them in each pose. Couple more. Woo. Squeeze your knees, have a little rock or a little roll, whatever you feel for. And we'll rock up to standing. Hands to your heart. Maybe step to the top of the mat. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, dive. Gazing pose then. Slide your hands halfway up your legs. Nice flat back. Exhale, fold forwards. Knees soft. Right foot back for warrior one. So drop the heel. Walk the left foot slightly left. Press into your back foot and rise up. And make sure you're using your back foot. So really press the outside edge into the mat. Keep your left hip slightly closed. So you want to make sure that you're not flopping the knee out. Then take your hands behind you. Lace your fingers. Reach them towards your back knee. Lift your chin. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze with the shoulders. And then now squeeze your backside as you begin to move forwards. Press your knuckles up to the ceiling. Keep using your legs. Make sure your backside is tight as a drum. Okay, take your hands down to the floor. Underneath your shoulders, hop your right foot to the center, left foot back in the air if it feels okay. Lower down your version of the plank into a three-legged dog. Square off your hips, flex your back foot, raise the heels slightly, but don't open the hips. Make sure the whole of the hand's working, the knuckles of the hand, the heel of the hand, and the finger pads, really, pressing into the mat. Then we'll slowly bring your left knee forwards. Drop it outside your left wrist. Slide your right leg back. Now to make a point, the heel is quite close to the hip for a gentler pose. If you want to go really sturdy and strong, flex your foot and bring the shin parallel with the top of the mat. But always listen to your knees. If your knees don't like that, there's no need to do that. Onto your fingertips then. Open the upper back. Now you can stay here, or you can bend your back knee and reach in towards your back foot. But resist the urge to lean to the left. So don't roll onto your left buttock. All right, slowly up. Now you can lean to the left, swing your leg around, roll onto your back. Let's go for a couple more crunchy things. We'll do something different. Let's do something different. Onto your back, legs into the air. I like this one, scissors. So we drop one leg. Now you can have your hands on the floor. If you think you're going to cheat and press, you can have your hands crossed at your shoulders. Feel free to point your toes if that would just feel altogether more appealing. Do that. What's most important right now is that you are not using momentum to lose. So you're not bouncing your legs, but you're moving them fairly purposefully and slowly, crossing them midway. And breathing.
Couple more. Whew. Okay. Both legs together. Have a little rock. I feel like I've missed something. I think I have. Did I? No, I didn't. Rock up to standing. Yoga with a menopausal lady. That's what you get. Okay. Too much information also. Squeeze your glutes, belly button to your spine, hands to your heart, lengthen your neck. All right, time for a nice one-legged balance. So Warrior 3 is among my favorite balances because it really feels like it's working my body. So let's do that. Let's bring the toes together, right, left foot back. Flex your left foot and then hinge here at the right hip in, but it's the right hip that's doing the work. So the left hip is pretty stable. And your head and your heel have moved at the same speed. So you might be diagonal, that's fine. Just make sure you've not got an arched back. Bring your hands alongside your body, wherever your body happens to be. Square your hips off if you can, so that you're drawing the left hip down and back. And then for extra power, take your arms alongside your head. Oh, that's strong. Bend your right knee and set your left foot down, almost lined up. Straighten, semi-straighten your front leg and take your hands behind you in reverse prayer. Or maybe you're holding your wrists or your elbows. Elbows wide, inhale, lift your chest. Slight bend in the front knee so that you don't lock it straight. And then push into the back foot as you fold forward. So really important not to lock your front knee. And just like with Warrior 1, when we folded forwards, squeeze your backside, use your legs. Don't be floppy here. This isn't can you fold in half, this is can you be strong as you fold. Press into the back foot, rise up. Bring your hands to your hips and let's step back a wee bit more for a triangle pose. Outside edge of your back foot down, both arms out. Reach to the top of the mat and tilt into triangle. Open your chest up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your backside. And come back to triangle prep. Bend your front knee. Spiral your backhand forwards. Let's go for a lovely plank, three-legged plank perhaps. Lower down, push back up, three-legged dog. Swing your leg forwards. Take your back foot to the top. Make your way to standing on in-breath. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale up to the sky. Exhale, dive forwards. Take a moment here. Soften your knees. And rise up once more. Hands to your heart, to the sky, then to your heart. And we'll sit down in chair pose. Reach your hands forwards about 45 degrees. Tail under, belly button to spine. Lean into your heels. And then rise to standing. Hands to your hips. Right foot back this time. Begin to hinge. Hinge at the left hip. Reach when you think you've got where you've got, see if you can take your right heel up just a little bit more without putting any strain on the lower back. Make sure your hips feel square. Arms alongside your body or alongside your head. Oh, I've got a wall in front of me, lucky me. Keep lifting the heel and bend your front knee and step back. Ready for pyramid pose. I feel a little wide, so you don't want to be too wide for pyramid pose. Hands in prayer or grasp wrists or elbows. Lengthen your front body. Push into the back foot and engage your back leg as you begin to fold forwards.
Press into the back foot once more, rise up. Hands to your hips, hop back a little bit further for triangle pose. Reach to the top of the mat and tilt into triangle. Make sure this top glute, so your right glute, is tucked in over the left, so you're really engaging it. And then come back to triangle prep. Let's take your back hand forwards. Hop right foot to the center, left foot up, lower down, and push back up to outward facing dog. Swing the foot forwards, right foot to follow. Let's rise up into chair pose. So sit down, take your arms alongside your body, belly button into your spine, tail pointing between your heels, leaning backwards a wee bit, and then rise to standing. Woo. Okay, hands forward like a zombie. Lift your heels, squeeze your backside, and start to bend your knees. Keep squeezing your backside and keep engaging it and squeezing it. Now, if you get to a point where it hurts your knees, then go back up again. You don't want to hurt your knees. Roll backwards slowly. And let's come onto the mat. I'm not going to make you do core work now. We'll just rock from side to side, kind of defensive way. I'm puffed out after what feels like a strong practice today. Okay, a little floor work. Let's extend your left leg. Bring your right knee to your chest. Now, if you have a band or a scarf or a tie or a tea towel, you could pause the video if you're watching this as a recording and go and grab one. And you can actually use that to improve the practice. If not, if you're doing this live with me, you can start to straighten your leg. What's important is that the leg is straight rather than your knee is towards your chest. So this isn't about how close can you get your thigh to your chest. It's about a straight leg and lifting your left leg, right leg, without bending the knee. Let's keep the left foot flexed, but you can feel free to point the right toe, unless you've got a scarf, in which case it'll be easier if you flex the foot, because you can hold it around the sole of the foot. You can rest your left hand on your right hip, and you could use your right hand to help your leg towards you. But something to watch out for is as your leg comes closer, make sure that your left hamstring doesn't rise off the floor and that your right glute doesn't come off the mat. Okay, slowly, softly start to bend the knee. You can relax your left foot. Tell I'm tired because I've got my rights and lefts all in a muddle. Open your left hip and drop your right hip, right hand over the top. For those of you who are thinking about switching off now, stay with me. Then take your hand underneath your leg, lift your knee up towards you and roll over to the left. Extend your right arm, turn your head to the right. You do not have to touch your right knee to the floor. In fact, best if you don't. Best for your back if you don't. Slowly roll onto your back. And let's extend the right leg and do that on the other side. So flex your right leg, bring your left knee in towards your chest. Give it a good squeeze. Then if you've got a band, you wrap your band around your foot. Straighten your leg away first and then raise it. If you don't have a band, straighten the leg away and then raise so that you take it up to where you want it to be with the leg straight. If you do flex your foot, actually, just a thought, aesthetics aside, you get an even stronger stretch. Okay, can bend the knee, open your left hip, drop your arm over the top, palm up. Use your right hand to remind your right side to stay on the mat. Now take your hand underneath your leg. You can relax your feet. Take your left knee over to the right. Extend your right arm. And just turn your head lazily to extend your left arm. Turn your head to the left. This is about your upper body and your shoulders. So it's important to keep your shoulder on the mat. It's not important to get your knee on the floor. All right, slowly roll onto your back. Bring both knees into the chest for a minute. Hands on your knees and draw a little circle to massage your back. And change the direction. Drop your feet to the floor, knees apart, clasp your hands under your head, and just let your knees fall from side to side by way of ironing out any kinks in the back. Knees to your chest. Last thing, flex your feet, soles of your feet to the sky, and really draw your knees towards your chest. So we're not trying to get your knees either side of your ribs. The purpose of this is to flatten your back down into the mat. Okay, relax your feet. Stretch your legs out one at a time. If your back feels tense or arched, you could bend your knees. Take 3 breaths here. Big long in-breath through your nose and even longer breath out, also through your nose. And then return to your natural breath. If you have an affirmation you like to use, you could call that to your mind. You could say to yourself, I'm open to abundance. And then carefully make your way up to a comfortable seat. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't already, do please click like and subscribe. I don't know why, I don't know if that helps or what, but I think it's supposed to be a good thing, so just go for that. Okay, hope to see you again soon. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.